want to thank all of our patrons. Every little bit really helps, and we really appreciate your support.
Yeah, y'all are great.
Hello friends. Today on board Tritea, we're going to install a table in the cabin, and I'm super stoked. We had a large original table that kind of slid into these cleats, and it was very awkward, very hard to stow, and we rarely ever used it because it was such a pain in the ass. So we've always kind of like wanted for a table. The layout of an Alberg 30 is very tight. It's not a very beamy boat, so we have like 22 inches of cabin sole, so we don't have a built-in table or anything. So not long ago, my buddy Noah told us about this couple selling in Uruguay, and how he was telling us to check out a video of them installing this amazing little wood stove called a mini cub or little cub, which is really cool, and we want to get one eventually. But they also have a video of them installing this modular table leg that lets you swing the table out of the way, and you can also kind of take it apart easily and stow it. And this is exactly what we needed on Tritea. So within days of seeing their video, I ordered it. And since then, I've noticed there are a couple of other people, like I think Sail Life, he installed one on his first boat, and various other people used this. I just hadn't heard of it yet. So let's talk about it. I think it's called Lagun. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This is the box. Let's see what it's all about. So this is like the leg, the main part of it. This is like the swing arm that goes under the table. This is the base that mounts to the table itself. And then this is like what the leg slides into. You see it goes this way. So you mount this to your bulkhead, this slides in, and then you tighten this down to hold the position. So this is what we're going to be mounting first. There's also like a wood backing plate for inside, and shims, and it comes with all the bolts and everything. I can't recall what I paid for this. I'll put it on the screen right now, but I bought it on eBay as a blemished version, and I couldn't find any blemishes on it whatsoever, so I don't know, but mine was much cheaper than what the regular retail price is, and I'll put both prices on the page right now, or on the video rather. So what I did was I took our original table as a temporary table, kind of like a test drive table, and I cut it down to 24 inches. I think it's 22 inches by 24 now. I just cut it down. It was like almost twice this length, and took off all the stuff, so that this is going to be like like I said, our test drive sort of prototype. And once we figure out how everything needs to be mounted to this to make it work, then I'll cut us a proper table out of laminate with nice teak trim so it matches everything else in the boat. So let's get to figuring out where the bottom mount is going to go, and then we'll get to mounting the base on the table and see this thing in action. Should be a quick job. So, a couple of things to consider. I mean, the only place I really can put it is kind of right here somewhere. And one issue or obstacle rather, is that there's like a bulkhead somewhere around here. So I might have to put it, 2 bolts on one side, 2 bolts in the other. So we'll see what that's all about. Let's go ahead and open it up. This is a drawer I'm going to go ahead and take out. I'll probably be eliminating this drawer because drawers take up more space than you kind of lose stowage area with drawers. Yeah, it seems like it would be, if the bolts are long enough, I can go right here. It's going to be a pain to screw it in, but And I think the best way to do this, to get it in its right spot, is I'm going to screw it in with like drywall screws first to kind of get my placement. And then once we know that the table can swing in and out of the way, then I'll come back, drill it out, and put the actual through bolts on that. Another couple things to consider are the table's width. So it's going to be made so that it's like here and it swings into here. And I'm going to have to offset the bottom plate so that I can get it in here, because I don't have enough space to move this bracket away so that it can just be centered and swing in and out. So there's a couple of factors to consider when doing this in my specific setup. So the other cool thing is, like, this thing doesn't have a stop on the bottom. So I'll show you once we get it screwed in. You can kind of adjust your table height based on this. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher, so if we want to drop the table lower or have it higher, we have the option. So let's go ahead and get this thing temporarily screwed in and see how she works. Oh, I guess the other thing I need to do, actually, put this in. And put a piece of tape on the side so I don't put it, so the drawer doesn't hit it. That's an easy thing to overlook. Okay, so we know that this side of the tape is our edge of our drawer, which isn't that much, but it's good to do that, just because knowing me, I ought to put it too close. And I'm reaching in behind and touching the bulkhead to kind of gauge, because I don't want to go on either side of that bulkhead. So this is kind of our test drive spot. I'm going to put one screw in first. Try to not screw it in my finger. All right. Put my bullet level on there. It's hard to level things on a boat. At least this way, it's like forward and aft. So that's fairly level. And I think maybe I'll only do 2 right now, because it's not gonna be like holding any weight. We're just gonna be seeing if it actually works there. So let me show you how this thing goes together. I'll demonstrate it just with the table base first. So here's our groove, cool slot, really nice machined aluminum. This slides into here, and then you got this, like, I think they're called like endless, like you pull it up, you push this as a button, you can do it in a tight spot, you don't have to do the full round, so it's like an endless sort of winch handle thing. So this goes on like this. I guess I don't want to tighten it down too much. And then this is the one that mounts to the bottom of our table. That goes here. And if you leave them not tightened down, this is how it goes. So then we're gonna have it swing into here. And now what we gotta do is set our table on and see where it falls. But how cool is that? It's gonna come out here, we can have dinner, work on the computer, edit videos. So let's bring it to our extreme. Like that. I don't even know how to tighten that. And then we'll set our top on here. It's gonna be a little bit off center, but that's not an issue for us. No big deal. I guess I could even probably, yeah, I guess I can do it centered, sort of. I guess that's the thing to consider. I would like it if it didn't go past there, so I'm glad I'm doing it this way. So it seems like I can have it centered on the table. I just can't have it centered this way. So it needs to be a little further to me, like it is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the bottom of this, and then we'll flip it over and get it screwed on, and then get back to our base and see about bolting that thing down. It's going to be cool. Pretty stoked. Alright, now it's time to take it off and screw it on the table and see what it's about. And this plastic is like, has little ridges in it so that it grips real good when you torque it down, so it'll stay real solid in place when you're at sea or whatever. I think a lot of people use these on RVs as well. Really great for like small space living. Yeah, so it's a little bit off center, but I'm gonna trust where it's at because that's what kind of worked best for where it was. But right now it sits like 7 inches from one side and 7 3/4 inches from the other. The only thing I'm gonna do different is I'm gonna make sure that it's centered. Oh, so it is. So it's like, make sure that it's 7 on this side and this side, which it is. So now we'll screw it in, and I have my sort of aft line here, and I already I had originally put this on in the center just to test it, and I know that these screws aren't going to blow out on top of the table. We have a big scuba trip coming up to Emerald Bay in a couple weeks. Camille plans on catching a lot of lobsters. Lobster season starts. And I wanted to have a table for that trip. And also Camille's doing another beer review with a couple of her friends this week. So there's going to be, I wanted to have ample room to move everything around so they could do the review and all that stuff. So this is good timing, getting this thing done. So let's see how it works. So here's our base temporarily screwed on. Put it like right there. That one's nice and solid. Oh. Okay, got that on. I'm gonna leave these other two loose so we can play with it. But here's our table. I think it needs to go down. Let me see. It's okay. I mean, I'll adjust it and we'll figure out what works the best for us. So that's how it works. So, I'm so stoked. This is cool. So cool. And then this will bolt on real solid with these through bolts. They're pretty beefy, you know? And they got the nylon washers. Probably put Loctite on them just for giggles. So, yeah. Here we go. Swings out like that. Can even go over here. You know, I can sit here, edit videos for you guys. It's cool. Like that, makes it a little bit longer. Can have both of us can sit here and have dinner. And we get a cushion for there. 3 people could sit and eat on this table. When Camille's cooking, she can use it as like a preparation area, so have stuff over here while she's cooking. Man, this thing is cool. Super stoked. Highly advise it. And again, I don't know these people, no association with the this company, but as far as like tools for yachties, this thing is like, especially for us with small boats, this thing is rad. We can adjust the table height for midgets like me and Camille. Look at that, man. That's cool. There you go. Stoked. Now I know that this size works. I can make a proper table. This is going to do great for the next couple of weeks, couple months even. But once I get the full galley done, I'll be able to make us a matching table, which is nice. Oh, and let me show you the other cool thing about this system. So like, it does stick out a little bit, so you know, if you're worried about banging into it or something, or you want to stow it because you're not going to be using it, check this out. They really thought this through. So here we are. We got our table base right here. You take this part off. I guess I could have left that part on and just done the leg. So then we got that, and then you do this. I'll do it this way, I reckon. Ooh. Slide this on. Here, it's got a matching track so that you can. There you go. The whole system is contained in the bottom of the table now. And all you got is this little plate. You can also get extra plates of these. If you want to put one here, you want to put in the cockpit, we're definitely going to get one for the cockpit. So this thing is truly modular. Breaks down. You know, you can stow this wherever you have room to stow it. And it's amazing. Worth the money. So let's get to bolting this on, and then our chore for the day will be done. Get to go home and do more chores. Let's do it. Okay, it's all bolted on. It feels very, very solid. Let's get our table put back together and see how she looks. Drawer fits good next to it. Let's go ahead and take off our leg from our little resting place. I don't know what's easier, to put this on first or put the table on first. I think this, but we'll get the hang of it. Flip it over. Slide it into its groove there. So, turns out this knob is too close to the drawer, so I'm gonna have to take the drawer home and router this down so that this doesn't hit. We're gonna take it off right now and just see how it works. But it's funny, it's like I marked the side to make sure. There's always some other factor, right, that could come into play. that bottom one's the one you're gonna want to generally keep tight. Obviously, this one is good to, these two are good to keep loose when you're using it, and then when you stow it, that's when you really want to torque these down, or I guess if you're in a rolly anchorage. So here it is, looking good. We can roll it back, put it out of the way, lock it down. When you're underway, it doesn't go anywhere. All I gotta do is trim down my little drawer so that this fits better, and we're in business. Pretty stoked. So thanks for watching this episode. I hope you found this informative and helpful. I hope it helps solve some space issues for some of you small boat sailors like us. And I'll go ahead and put all the info about this table leg system and a link down below in the description. So if you like this video, let's give it a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Leave us a comment if you have any questions or comments. We always appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We have tons more coming up. Camille has some new beer reviews coming up. I'm going to be doing some gear reviews and tons of adventure videos. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. So this thing is truly modular. So this thing is truly modular. So fun fact, I work for a lot of celebrities installing art in their homes here in Los Angeles. And years ago, Sharon Stone gave me this vacuum. I worked for her a ton, installed a bunch at her house, and she got a new vacuum and was like, hey, do you want this little vacuum? I'm gonna throw it out. So that's where this came from, which is silly. And we're gonna be hauling out soon, so that's gonna be a whole ton of work. So